All right, you guys, so today we are going to get a look at Enfys Nest and the Swoop bike. Absolutely cool packaging on this thing, so we're going to get right into it, guys. Let's go ahead. So in the window we have the figure here in the packaging. Very cool, very nice. We have the nice bright solo background, the kind of yellowish orangish background, which of course matches the banner, which is across all of the Star Wars material. And then of course we have a very cool illustration of the Swoop bike and Enfys Nest driving the Swoop bike. Now also pictured in the background, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the train that we see that is a part of the trailer is actually depicted here in the background across the top of the package, guys. And I'm gonna try and get you a shot of that, and I hope it's there in the shot for you. Bring it a little closer so you guys can see, and I apologize for that shadow there, but as you can see, there is the train in the background. Very cool. And there's a couple of other Swoop bikes that are in the frame as well. So that probably means that there are, of course, obviously we do know that Enfys Nest rose with a crew. Actually a part of the Cloud Riders. They're a Swoop gang operating on Abadula 3. Very cool. So this is actually coming from EU material, and for those who do not know what that means, that's extended universe material or Legends material, which is no longer canon. So basically the Disney Story Group is reaching back into the EU and pulling those small things that are familiar from that particular material and now adding it to canon and bringing it to light. So it's really, really cool and exciting to see that type of continuity being brought into the Star Wars lore. And so here we have Enfys Nest right here. So very, very cool. And again, getting back to the packaging, we have the Force Link 2.0 information right there. We also have the toy depicted in the child's hand, so you get a kind of visual of what the size of the vehicle is. We have our Hasbro symbol here, which is actually the damaged part of the box here on my particular figure here, and then we have the warning sign, characters information and whatnot. On the side of the box, we get a little just small depiction of empty space there, empty sky, I should say. And then on the back of the box, guys, we get a really cool picture of the Swoop bike itself with Enfys Nest right there, who is, by the way, a female character, if my understanding is correct. We again have the Force Link and the Swoop bike and character depicted there, letting you know that the two items are compatible with your Force Link device. We have the Force Link symbol right there, Star Wars logo, again, the Force Link shown right there. So they're really letting you know that the Force Link is a big part of these vehicles and characters that are coming out here, guys. And then of course we have all of our other legal information at the bottom there. And then back around to the other side of the box, guys, we have our vehicle with the in the child's hand and the Force Link 2.0 symbol, and then back around to the front, guys. So let's go ahead and pop this baby open and get a look at this Swoop bike. And then also, guys, what we're going to do is pull out our Force Link 2.0 and get some sounds, not only from our Swoop, we're also going to do the sounds for the Han Solo speeder as well. Even though I've already reviewed that vehicle, at the time the Force Link wasn't working, so now we can hear what the vehicle sounds like and get all of that information. And not only that, but we can also get the sounds from this particular version of Han, which is much different from the other two versions of Han that we received in the latest round of toy releases for Solo. You guys, and we have everything out of the box, really looking really awesome, guys. I am very, very impressed with this particular piece right here, guys. As a matter of fact, I am so impressed right out of the box. I think I'm going to actually go out and buy another one because we do see that there are multiple vehicles or multiple speeders. Obviously there's going to be multiple speeders because there are other members of the Cloud Gang that are going to be a part of this movie. So if you're going to set up any kind of dioramas or anything like that, especially for if it's involving this particular scene, the train scene, if it's correctly depicted on the box or however it's depicted, you're probably going to want to have multiple scoop bikes available for diorama purposes if you're a collector who also creates dioramas like myself. So I'm instantly going to go and pick up an additional Swoop speeder or two if I can. So really, really cool. Let's get a good look at it, guys. All right, guys, and getting you a look at the Swoop bike. Very, very awesome looking vehicle. I mean, I love that front end. That is so awesome. Really cool. The figure is awesome, and we're gonna get a look at him, her, excuse me, as well. Don't want to mess up the gender there. Very cool engine on the back end there. Very awesome. Little tail there. My tail seems to be bent a bit. I wish it was straight. Should be straight like that, but we'll try and correct that. But absolutely cool speeder, like one of the best speeders in Star Wars. And one thing that Star Wars will give you is really cool vehicles. And that's why, because when I initially started collecting, I wasn't even going to collect the vehicles. I was just going to do the figures. And then, you know, one of the most unique things, again, about Star Wars is the vehicles. So I started getting into the vehicles, which led into me collecting the 5 POAs, which I said I would not do. And so here we are. So very cool. Love this vehicle, guys. But let's get a look at Enfys Nest herself. All right, you guys, and getting a look at Enfys Nest. Really, really cool figure here. Very, very awesome. Lots of detail for a 5 POA figure. And we also get a couple of additional articulation here in the arm. So very, very cool. And I love the reasoning for that, obviously, is so she can grab the handles on the bike there. And even the fact that she doesn't have any knees to bend, where the pedals are on the bike is very suitable for your 5 POAs. So she actually looks natural sitting on the bike, even though she has no articulation in the knees. So really, really cool, and really, really well planned out vehicle and figure set. So very, very impressed with this. I love the feature here on the chest. Just absolutely awesome. There it looks like it's bones surrounded by some kind of electronics there. So that is really, really cool. You have some items on the belt area, which is connected to this part here. So really, really awesome. And it is a plastic, bendable plastic. So that's really cool. The cape is a soft material, guys. Isn't that awesome? I am a sucker for a soft material, and they provided you some really, really nice soft material for this figure. This actually makes me excited for the 6-inch version of this character, because I know they're going to knock it out of the box if they've done such a good job with this 5 POA version. So really, really cool. Looks like she also has some fur on the top, on the shoulders here, in addition to some long hair sticking out the back of her beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mask. And let's get a closer look at that, guys. So getting a look at the mask, it is just absolutely awesome, beautifully sculpted. I mean, this is a 5 POA, guys. This isn't a 6-inch super articulated vintage 3.75 figure. No, none of that. This is your simple 5 POA $8 figure. But it is impressive. I can tell you, I am really impressed with this. The look of it, very excited about this character, very excited about the movie. Love it, love it, love it. What is there not to love? And then also, guys, getting you a look at her weapon. Really cool weapon. Seems to be a melee weapon. I don't see any blaster or any type of saber type of technology on this. Just seems to be a simple melee weapon, and I am sure she is absolutely skilled with it, and we will see an example of that, I am so sure. But really, really cool looking weapon, and very nice addition or accessory to go along with your Enfys Nest and her Swoop bike. Absolutely awesome stuff, guys. And as you can see, the bike is really well balanced, stands on its own, really, really cool. But you can actually even pose it in a leaning manner, and I'm going to see if I can get that done for you guys here. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I kind of leaned it over to the side there a little bit. So if you want to get her in that leaning motion as the bike is turning to the right there, Just really, really cool balancing for this particular item. Very light. The Swoop bike is very, very light, but very, very cool, guys. And as I said earlier, I'm probably going to pick up at least 2, maybe 3 more of these for possible cool diorama. All right, you guys, and as promised, we are going to get a look at the sounds from the vehicle using our Force Link 2.0. So let's go ahead and see what this thing does now. Laser sounds, has a pod racer type of engine noise, if you can hear that, guys. So very cool. Swooping noises when you move it around. So really, really cool, very awesome sounds for the vehicle. Love it. Now let's get a listen to the character and see what she has for us as well. All right, you guys, and getting a look at Enfys Nest, let's see what she has to say.
The only law out here is my law, not orders. Bring me their weapons.
Interesting.
Let's move out. It's time to bring home some credits.
Bring
me their weapons. The prize will be mine. The orders.
So when you move it, when you shake it around, you're supposed to get the weapon noise. So that noise right there makes it sound like that there may be some kind of saber noise. Sounds like a...
It's time to bring home some credits. The prize will be mine.
So that make that noise right there for the weapon is really interesting. Let's get that weapon pulled up here, guys. So that noise right there for the weapon makes it sound as if it might have some kind of lightsaber technology to it. We do know that the main gangster, the villain in the film, has some sort of lightsaber technology weapon. So, it might be safe to assume, since we are getting that little laser sound or that little saber type of crackling noise, very similar to Kylo Ren's saber, that perhaps Enfys Nest's weapon here may have some type of saber technology to it that isn't quite stable, such as Kylo's saber, and perhaps it does have that same feature to it, because again, if we use the Force Link to get the weapon sound, you get that that humming noise, but it's kind of like a humming, crackling noise. So really interesting stuff there, guys, and we will see once the movie comes out on the 24th. I already have my ticket, and I will be one of the first to see it at 7 p.m. on the 24th. Cannot wait, guys. So all right, you guys, and as promised, we are going to get a look at Han Speeder, or kind of update our review on Han Speeder. Now, as I mentioned, I did review this particular vehicle a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, at that particular time, the Force Link was not working, and so now that we have it sort of working, we can hopefully get some really cool sounds from the vehicle. But not only that, but we can actually see what this particular version of Han, which is again, there are 3 different versions of Han that are out in the 5 POA scale, 3 different costumes that I should say for Han, and I'm sure there may be a couple of different phrases between the 3 solos. So we're going to get a look at that. We're also going to get a look at the vehicle and see what it does. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, let's see. Very cool. Really cool. I don't want to move it around too much and lose my figures, but very cool. Kind of got a... Oh, huh. So there's some weapon noises. So I wonder if there's a gun on the speeder somewhere. But that's interesting, really interesting. So very cool. Very, very cool sounds for our speeder. Very, very awesome. So let's get a look at Han and see what this particular version of Han has to say. All right, you guys, and we're going to get a listen in on Han, so let's check it out.
I'm done with taking orders. That wasn't the plan. How did I get into this mess? Let's deal with these guys fast. Nothing beats a good blaster. Let's deal with these guys fast. Nothing beats a good blaster. Let's deal with these guys fast.
So really, really cool stuff from this particular version of Han. If you've seen any of my other reviews, you know that we've heard the voices and phrases from the other two versions of Han. But really, really cool stuff, guys. And let's get a look. I haven't had all three on the camera at the same time, so let's get a look at all three side by side. All right, you guys, and there we have all three versions of our young Han Solo. Very cool, very awesome. Now, obviously, this particular version is going to be the youngest version right there. I believe this is probably close to teenage version or very young adult version of Han Solo. And then, of course, here looks like is going to be the main version of Solo that we're going to get right there with the brown jacket on. And then, of course, this particular version is probably the same as this version. I think they're at the same point in age. I just think that this is Han at the point where he is actually taken over ownership of the Falcon. Again, this particular one is the version that comes with the Falcon, and it is my assumption that this will be the look that Han will have at the time that he has already taken possession of the Falcon from Lando. So really cool, very nice to actually get to see all three different outfits or versions of Han Solo prior to the release of the movie. Kind of opens up a lot of speculation and thought. So really cool, great stuff. So guys, let me know what you think about Enfys Nest and her Swoop bike. I think it is absolutely cool, very awesome. There was no assembly required, no additional pieces to put on with this vehicle. It came right out the box as you see it there, guys. I think the figure is really awesome, especially for a 5 POA. So really, really cool stuff. Great sounds from the Force Link 2.0. Even though it's not my favorite item in the store, in the Solo Star Wars toy line, but it does have its purpose and has some very nice features that come with your vehicle. Even though I still am of the mind that the vehicles used to come with lights and sounds included. I think Hasbro should go back to that as opposed to forcing us to purchase a whole new device to get those same sounds from the vehicle. I just think that's not cool. If you want to have a device for the characters and their phrases, that's fine. I could actually do without that. But, you know, it is what it is, guys. So there it is, guys. Let me know what you think about Enfys Nest and the Swoop bike. Is it cool? Is it something that you may pick up for your collection? Put those comments down below. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the son-in-law, may the Force be with you always.